sick. There's a slate.
That's how we know. That's how it works.
And we're on.
So we were talking before we got the camera on. We were talking about Arnley here, my guest this week.
Hello.
After a long hiatus, but we're back again. That's like a running theme, I feel like, with my show. But Arnley looking around my office here, and he noticed all the Dragon Ball Z Funko Pops, and I got a golden Shenron sitting over on the table there.
Which is super sick, by the way.
It is sick. I think I got that as a present, too. Like, a lot of them were gifts. I mean, I feel like Funkos are pretty...
Is that Shenron a Funko, too?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so sick.
They sell it, like, the golden one, and then there's, like, a normal one, like, with his, like, green and
okay, just
body.
a normal Shenron. Okay.
Yeah. That one I've been looking for as well. That one's pretty
so sick,
common. But yeah, we were talking about the series, different series of them, and he was just asking which was my favorite. And I kind of was like, well, OG Dragon Ball Z, definitely like the go-to for me.
It's like the starter.
Yeah, for a lot of people, I feel like that was like.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume you're a fan as well. Like.
Yes.
Okay. That's like, especially like in the United States, that was like our first exposure of that. It was honestly probably my first exposure of anime.
Did you watch it on Toonami?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And yeah, like I just remember it was like the same like block of like episodes. They would just play it like it would just always be. I distinctly remember the Frieza saga always being like the one, and it would just be like it would start and then it would go to the end of it, and then at the end of that you'd be like, next time on Dragon Ball Z, and then the next week it would just start over again. I'd be like,
you know
what?
You know what was so weird to me about that? It was like 4 episodes of powering up, right?
Yes.
And then when they finally power up, they miss. So it's like next time on Dragon Ball Z, it's like, ugh.
See what he's gonna do next.
Previously on Dragon Ball Z, ugh. And then they miss.
And then they miss, or like the guy just stands there and he's just like,
yeah. So it's like I would just wasted 4 episodes for a very anticlimactic
for like a dick measuring contest. Yes. It's basically just like, bro, I'm so strong. Listen how loud I can yell. And that's how strong I am. And this guy's like, nah, bro, I ain't even gonna move out of the way from your move. And it's just that a standoff the whole time.
Yeah. So who is your favorite villain out of Dragon Ball Z?
Favorite villain?
Yeah. Which saga?
I honestly, I think I would go Boo.
Okay.
Like Super Boo.
Yeah.
Because like that. To me, like that was like, I mean, the Cell's also like up there for me.
Yeah.
But like, so like Cell was like the first time when like he like kind of like he killed a whole city of people. Mm-hmm. You know, he absorbed them all and stuff. That was crazy. Like when the Saiyans landed, they blew up a whole city, and like that was crazy. Like and horrible. Boo killed everyone
and ate everyone.
Like that was the first time in the series where you're like, oh shit, this guy literally blew up the Earth.
Yeah.
That the Earth exploded, like and when they had to like go to the Kai planet and
pretty much like turn back, or they went into the hyperbolic time chamber, right?
Oh yeah, they locked him in there, and then he screams to get out of there. And
you know what's so funny to me about Boo though? He was like the most jolly, happy looking villain.
Oh yeah,
like he just like laughed and just wanted to eat everybody.
I love to like I was watching somebody talk about like the that specifically on YouTube, somebody talking about that arc, and he's like Boo was like evil, like after, because I guess like I don't know how deep in the lore like you know of Majin Buu or not, but like he is the fat, or I guess for those who don't know, he's the fat Buu because he at some point he absorbs one of the Kais, like the gods of the universe.
Oh yeah.
And it like that he kind of takes on his appearance and kind of like a lot of his like personality. Okay. So he's a little bit more jovial and like bouncy and stuff. I
remember that, yeah.
And like when he is on Earth, like when like everything's happening and he befriends Mr. Satan, like he basically he's not evil. He just doesn't know that evil is bad.
Yeah.
So then like he's just like, yeah, don't kill people. And he's like, oh, okay. And then that was it. And then those guys fucking killed his dog. And
Oh god.
if they didn't see, that's the thing too. I always laugh about is if those guys didn't, if that never happened,
Yeah.
Boo probably never turns. I mean, it's something probably would have set him off at some point, but like,
Didn't he like transform into like the skinnier?
yeah, or
Evil
he
Boo?
got like super mad and like steam came out of his head.
Yeah.
And like the steam like solidified into like a skinny, like pure evil form.
That
of
was
him.
the evil Boo.
Yeah.
You know,
That's why it's like Boo's so cool because there's like so many different like versions of him
Yeah.
and like it felt like the stakes were super high the entire time. Like it literally felt like they were hiding from him to have to train.
Yeah.
Like it literally felt like their backs were against the wall the entire time and like you were like I don't know if they're going to pull this one off.
Didn't he get reincarnated in GT, right?
Yeah, they reincarnate him as Oob.
Oob. Yeah.
Oob.
It took me a while. I was like, oh, that's Boo backwards.
Yeah.
And then it kicked in. I was like, wow.
What about you? Who are some of your favorites on the show?
I think GT was probably my favorite arc.
Dude.
Because I just loved the Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
That was a sick transformation.
I know like people like a lot of people like to dump on GT, but I
Mm-hmm.
think GT's a lot better. It's not great, but it's a lot
Yeah.
better than people give it credit for.
Exactly, yeah. And when they went Vegito, I thought
Oh.
Vegito was so sick.
Dude, so like Super Saiyan 4 like or the Gogeta.
Yes.
Yeah, when he's got like the red
yes.
hair.
Yeah, I thought those transformations were a lot, like they were so much better than Z, because like Z he had like what Super Saiyan 3 and just magically grew this
Like long.
hair.
It was like a super mullet.
Yeah.
It was a super mullet, but then he had no eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's where all the extra hair went. They like his hair like goes
Went
down
from the
from
eyebrows to his mullet.
Yeah.
But then they had Gotenks, the fusion dance.
Gotenks was dope.
That was sick. Yeah. But when they made Vegito, I thought Vegito was so sick. He was like my favorite for a while.
Yeah, and he's like, have you watched any of like Super, like Dragon Ball
No,
Super?
I fell off after GT.
You definitely got to check out Super.
Okay.
It's it's honestly some of my favorite like stuff that the franchise has done. Especially they do like a big like universal tournament where there's like
Okay.
it's a big tournament like battle royal style.
Okay.
And it's like the universe that we know that from the show that we've watched this whole time is like a universe. I don't remember exactly what universe it's called, but like there's like their team, so it's like a
Okay.
super team from that universe versus
Okay.
like other universes, and
I thought Super was just like a remastered version.
that's Kai.
Oh,
That's
okay,
Kai.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
which is really nice if you're trying to rewatch the series and just like there's no filler in it. It's
Yeah.
it's remastered. There's no
Shorter,
filler.
right?
It's a little bit shorter. You kind of get exactly what you're looking for with it.
Yeah.
And especially too if it's somebody's like first time watching the series, if you want the full experience, I definitely suggest checking out the actual
The
releases. But like,
Toonami version, yeah.
yeah, but if you want to just kind of get in and get out, like the Kai one is really good, and it's got a really good theme song, which was what me and Castro used to tag at freelance and everywhere as the 4-star heroes. Our theme song was the Dragon Ball Z Kai theme song. Yeah,
That's awesome. Wasn't they showed that one on Nickelodeon though, right?
yeah,
That was
it was really weird.
Yeah, very weird. Especially going from like Toonami to Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, how have you been, man? It's been a bit. You
I've
like that?
been
You like
good,
the
yeah.
cold open there?
right. No, been good. Been good. You know, busy filming, doing the video stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So I mean, I guess I could explain how we know each other.
Oh yeah.
like-
Okay, yeah.
So, the Arnley.
Hello. Hello.
I love this. This is great. We
We just started. Just like, let's go Dragon Ball Z right away.
right away. I was like, hold on, I got shit to say.
I think once you have to defend GT, everyone's got a lot to say.
Oh yeah, I know. We probably pissed off some people, but guess
Yeah.
what? I don't care.
It is.
I
what it
stand
is.
by the Baby Saga,
Yes. Yes.
Super 17.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
That's like honestly, and like even like I love how we just went right back.
you know,
into
straight back to Dragon Ball Z.
Well, the like Omega Shenron shit, like the Black Star Dragon Balls, like
oh my god, dude, this is like bringing back so many memories from like high school.
dude. I remember like having to collect like the VHS tapes because like that
You had
was the
VHS tapes.
yeah.
They had. Dude,
I have a couple of them still.
Really?
I might have them, I think, at my mom's house, but
Damn.
that was the only way I was able to watch them because, like, I think it was on Toonami like once. Maybe I've like,
GT or Z?
GT. I don't.
Okay,
I don't know if it ever aired on American television.
I don't think so because I watched it on like some correct website.
Yeah. Yeah, I had like from like FYE or like some place in the mall. They would sell like the like home video
That's
releases
I
of
didn't know
them.
they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how I watched Dragon Ball too. It was like on some like anime website that was just like cracked with like subtitles.
Damn.
So I got to hear like the original Japanese.
Oh shit.
So, the
And
authentic Dragon Ball.
So do you like? Can you speak Japanese?
No, not at all.
Do you understand it?
It was
or-
subbed. Like,
Oh, okay.
Everything was subbed.
That was
so-
my next question. Okay,
No,
cause,
yeah.
yeah, but you can't understand it either.
No.
Then okay, because like for me, I don't speak Spanish at all, but I can like if someone's speaking Spanish, I can like
Understand it.
I can
piece
like
it.
pick out certain words and kind of like fake my way through it and just
Okay.
kind of be like, oh, I think I understand what you're saying. Maybe not exactly, but like I kind of like know the gist of it.
Yeah, I can't do that with Japanese.
That's hard. That's
I
a
think-
very difficult language.
And it just sounds so aggressive.
Yeah, it's like that in German.
Yeah.
Very,
yeah.
they're very like aggressive. Oh, there we go. Those,
I
I'm
think
gonna
I'm
fix
like, I think I'm like hitting this.
I haven't
there we
touched these
go.
in a while.
Oh, it's like ASMR. Wow.
I don't like. I also don't know what the best way. I figured I put my mic this way just because I can talk and like look at the guest instead of
That's,
looking the other way. But
that makes sense. Wow, it's very. I like this.
it's good sound, right?
It's very good sound. Your mic is like slowly falling.
Slowly dying. So yeah. So our origin story is pretty fun.
Yes.
So you by profession, I guess, or by like at least by how I met you, you do videography work
Yes.
for bands doing music videos, and now pro wrestling,
Yes.
which is crazy. Like how? So I guess how long have you been doing that? Like what kind of got you into that?
I mean, I've been doing music videos since about 2015.
Okay,
So almost 10 years.
nice.
But I mean, like I've always wanted to make the hype packages for pro wrestling. And then once
Yeah.
I discovered like the indie scene, I was like, how I want to do that. Like I want to do that. Like how do I get into that? And then here we are like 9 years later?
Yeah. No, that was crazy. So like we met because through a mutual friend, Jacob,
Yes.
the first guest on this in
Oh,
these
that's
chairs.
right,
He was the
yeah.
first one to sit in this chair. Shout
That's
out Jacob
right.
Taus.
Yes.
You shot a music video for them for their band East Moon.
Yes.
And
And we shot it here.
we shot it here at Pro Wrestling
Yep.
Tees, yeah. And I came to help out. I was like, oh yeah, because I kind of just was curious to see behind the scenes stuff with the band, and I'm always like a sucker for like that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
I've always like I obviously grew up and got into wrestling, but like part of me like in another life was like, damn, I wish I would have been in a band or something. Like that's like so I live
Yeah.
like vicariously through Jacob sometimes, and
Fair enough.
I love it. Love hearing all the stories and stuff of how they're like starting to blow up and.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of shows lately. Like, he's
Yeah.
always saying messaging me like, "Come out to the show, come out to the show." I'm like,
I know. I'm like,
"Man."
dude, you got like it's like every weekend
Yeah.
almost now.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But so I was kind of just floating around there, and I had my camera that I was like
Yes.
playing with, the one that we're recording with right now, and you were kind of like, oh, like asking me some questions, and I was like, I know nothing about this thing. I just bought it, and then just through a little bit of back and forth, like
Yeah.
you told me a little bit about how you were like talking about like wanting to shoot wrestling, and I'm just like, bro.
There's my in finally. Like
Yo.
9 years later.
But I also didn't know that you knew me, and you said
Oh,
we taught. Yeah, you
what's
said
so crazy was like I owned a clothing line back in 2015, and I had messaged one of my friends from high school, and I was like, "Hey, do you know any like bodybuilders or like wrestlers who I can like
bodybuilder right
like,
here.
Yeah, it was like who I can like promote wearing my stuff because one of my man, I'm going on a long tangent.
No,
now.
please. We
So,
got
it was. I had a friend who was in a band who I also sponsored through Dead Sane, and I was like, hey, let me find a wrestler who I can promote Dead Saint with, and also if they were down, they can use my friend Jimmy's band as their like entrance music or some sort of like. I wanted to like connect them all cohesively.
Yeah.
And then my friend, I don't know if you know her, Colleen. I knew her from high school.
Maybe.
And then
I mean, I don't like calling it.
she sent me your page.
Okay.
And then I messaged you, and then
I never responded.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I ever saw it though. That's the thing.
I don't remember what happened. Like everything after that was just like a blur.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So
especially
yeah.
like that long ago. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm glad we ended up like coming back together that
So
way.
it's like I think we'll eventually cross paths again, and here we are.
Yeah. And so that was awesome that like we kind of just were like, oh shit, like yeah. and like now you're like literally like probably I would say the premier video guy in the Midwest area at least. Like I mean there's I mean not to put anybody else down, but like
Yeah.
I mean your stuff literally is incredible and
Thank you.
and it shows. Like it makes such a difference too for like any company that's using you, like the way that it can be used as like promotional tools, but also just kind of like, I always used to say this, like in the beginning of freelance, like people used to be like, bro, freelance is so sick. Do you see their videos and stuff? And I'm just like, I'll never take away anything that like that from our success, like of how it happened. Because the cards landed the way they did, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, if we didn't have those cameras, like my buddy Jack, that was shooting with us, like the cinematic cameras and stuff. If we didn't have that, or like if anybody else at the time would have had that, it would have been them, not us, you know. Or like maybe we wouldn't have, you know, not blown up, but like rose to success so quickly if it wasn't for like our presentation.
Yeah.
And like so moving forward, that was always like a big proponent of like whenever we got like extra money and stuff, I would just like put it towards like the setup, like buying, you know, custom ring canvases,
Gotcha.
entranceway, the turnbuckle pads, the custom belts, like everything. Like,
Your presentation is
yeah,
everything.
like and it's literally like I mean, same thing in the music industry and any kind of entertainment. It's just like fake it till you make it, you know, basically. And
yeah.
And if you like, as at the very least, like if your presentation to the fans or even to the even people in your own industry, like they look at it and they're just like, that looks good, that looks professional, that looks like
They're
something
gonna watch it.
I want to invest my time,
Exactly.
my money into that because they're investing their time and money into that. So like, it's a big thing. Like, and it's the videographers, it's the photographers,
Yes.
it's the you know, the graphic designers and stuff. Everybody that like works together to kind of do that
It's
stuff.
pretty much like a big oiled machine. Like there's so many components to it.
And that's like, it's something that I feel like does, and this is not me trying to be like, oh, like, like trying to get some like clout or anything, but like, no, for real, like those are the people that like I feel like we genuinely forget about sometimes as far as being like essential workers, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
For a professional wrestling show.
Yes.
Like you can have the best, like trust me, I've been on a lot of shows where like, damn dude, this is like the best show ever, but like no one like recorded it, or like it's recorded on like a shitty camcorder or just like
on a phone.
Yeah,
stuff like that,
and you're just like, damn dude, if this was only presented in the right way, this would be like not world changing, but like, you know, you never know.
It helps.
It definitely helps.
Yeah. And I feel that's like my favorite part about doing it is like I like to make the show and the wrestlers look like I don't know how to word this, but like I want to make it look more than an indie show.
You want to make them look like stars.
Yes, exactly. Like I want to make it look like a big presentation, you know.
Yeah, and I think that like that helps. Not only does it help the whatever promotion or stuff that they're plugging, but it helps
talent.
It helps the talent like directly, because then like, you know, you're like, I've seen like some of the like, you know, just the shots of like the people like warming up backstage, and, like quick cuts and stuff like that, like, you know, like, you know, combine that with like clips of them in the ring and stuff, and it's just like, dude, that's like such sweet, like not easy, but like good content, like that is easily digestible for people on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the name of the game, you know, to just kind of like to grow your brand.
Yeah. And it's like my inspiration for that was like, you remember those old intros for like Raw and SmackDown for like 2004, 2005?
Oh yeah.
Like with the beautiful people, and they had Union Underground for
The cross,
Raw.
yeah.
Yeah.
The money.
That was like my favorite Raw song. So I was like, I want to bring some of that into the indie world, and you know, just have fun with it.
And yeah, and I think it looks great. Like,
Thank you.
so I mean, I want to see more of that. Like, just from everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like, let's make that the new baseline. And you gotta like, that's the new baseline.
Yeah.
If you want to be better, you gotta be better than that.
You got to
figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the fun part too, is like, how can you top the next video? How can you top the next highlight reel?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, that was like a huge thing, like for us, like when we were like growing up and doing backyard wrestling, was doing we would just have this crazy show that would literally go all day
in someone's backyard.
In someone's backyard or something like that. And then
did you do that here in Illinois?
Oh yeah.
Really?
In Illinois, we traveled like all over the country. Well, not all over the country, but like,
dude, that's so sick.
There was a whole. We can get I can get into that if you want me to.
Dude, hell yeah! Let me make a backyard wrestling reel,
dude. So, well, that's funny. That's actually where I was this past weekend. But yeah, the community was like incredible. Like it started with just like us kind of like doing our own little like group here, and I'll tie it into the video stuff too. But like the like our group, you know, we would have our matches and like we would film it and like post, like maybe we'd post the full matches on like, and we'd all post on like a internet forum.
Okay.
And it'd be like, hey, here's my match. Like if like give me critiques, guys. Yeah. Like we would always like we would ask each other for critiques or just like, hey, like what did you think I could do better? Like, and like nobody there was like trained for the most part. There was a couple like. So
how long ago was this?
This was probably like 2008, 2009.
Wow. Okay.
And it goes back even further than that. There was like a whole, like the community goes, I would say, to the early 2000s even.
Okay.
But when I like entered it, it was like that right around that time, and like we would post our stuff, but we would post like music videos of the shows. Like it would just be like a highlight video of it. Craig would be like was our ace with that kind of stuff. Like
really?
He would just put him together. He's got a whole there's a whole YouTube channel up online. It's like BYW History, I think it is.
Still up?
Yeah, and he's got all, it's like listed into different categories. Not all the ones that he made, but like a lot of the ones in the Illinois playlist are videos that he actually made himself. But that was like a big part of like backyard wrestling, was like the music videos.
Yeah.
Everyone looked forward to like the hype videos or the music videos after the weekends, and that was something that I was like, I felt was missing on the indies too. And like PWG was famous for doing them, and that was like a big one that everybody would be like, every time there was a PWG weekend, everybody would be waiting for the
video.
DVD trailer to drop out, and like it would just be like crazy spots, like and like, so when we started like doing that stuff at freelance too, like we were like, I want to do like the sizzle reels for like for every show as much as we could.
Yeah.
And like it like there was times where it like kind of fell off because like, you know, Jack was doing it first for us, but then he left for his real life big boy job. So he couldn't do them anymore. And then the last person that was doing us was my buddy Jeremy, and now he works for AEW. So like
that's
so
awesome.
Hey, that might be in your future. Like,
man, that would be awesome.
Or just anywhere, you know, like who knows? But like, you know, it's hard to find like people like you. Like you're a very like I guess I would say like a rare commodity in the community because of like, you know, like the work that you do is so like unique to wrestling, because wrestling is normally just, I don't want to say shitty, but like we're not known for like having the like the best quality of anything.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, thank you for inviting me to do it. So what's been your like favorite some of your favorite memories, I guess, so far, like with doing this stuff?
nothing like in particular, but I guess just like things that like since you've been shooting different shows and everything, like what are some interactions or like people that you've met that you're just like, damn, that was fucking cool.
Honestly, it's definitely meeting the other creatives and other photographers like Basil.
Yeah,
Dude,
Baz.
Once you introduced me to him, he's like instantly one of my favorite people.
He's incredible.
Dude, I love him, and he actually hooked me up with a show for Mojo. I did the Crowning Glory.
Oh, nice.
So that's probably like, with like talent wise, some like biggest like people from like WWE, TNA, AEW, like Mandy Rose was there.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I never thought I'd be able to like, make a reel for Mandy Rose or like Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance, whichever.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, it's just working with all the talent and collaborating on like ideas. I love it when they're like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Like that makes me hyped, make me stoked, instead of me just being like, oh, let's do this. But when they come with me to
ideas, yeah, then you're like, okay, that it's easier to kind of bounce them off each
Yeah.
other, and like, you get hyped. It's the same. Like I feel the same
Yeah.
way too. Like you kind of get like you get excited when they get excited because you guys are both pumped about the same thing.
and it's like
you're
it's
just
more
like,
of a collaboration, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess too, like what so you also like play I don't know, you currently in a band?
no, not anymore.
Not anymore, but
Not anymore.
you play guitar.
Yes.
You were in a band.
Yeah, I played in a band called Capture the Crown for like 3 years, and God, that was a shit show.
A shit show?
That was a shit
Oh,
show.
no.
So I don't if you don't know who Capture the Crown is, they were a band from 2008, 2009. They were signed to Sumerian. So they got a lot of flack for trying to rip off of Asking Alexandria.
Oh.
They did the whole like a techno core thing, and yeah, it was a shit show.
It just didn't work out.
It was, yeah, but the vocalist was from Australia, so he would have to travel back and forth, and
Jeez.
yeah, so for every tour, I'd have to go out to California where the others were. He'd fly out from Australia to California, rehearse for like 4 or 5 days for like a month-long tour, and then go out
Just
and
go
hope
back
for the
home.
best.
Oh, damn. So how did that happen then? Like how did you get hooked up with that?
Through video, actually.
Legit. Oh, it's always
Through video.
Oh my god.
I was doing a music video for some band that was out in I think it was like Elk Grove, and he was the bass player for Capture the Crown.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're looking for a guitar player." So
And then that you're
I
just
got
like,
in.
I'm in the band now.
he was like, "I play guitar." So
That's crazy though. I mean, like that happens sometimes in wrestling like that.
Yeah.
Like where like I remember there's Dreamwave. You know Dreamwave.
Okay, yeah.
So so Dreamwave before they went on hiatus.
Yeah.
Like back in the day when I first started there. This is probably like 2010, 2011.
Okay.
I got it. It's kind. I mean, it's kind of a hard place to get into now. But it's kind of always been that way. Like it's a very like close knit community there, and like you got to be good, to get on those shows.
Yeah.
And I remember I got asked to come down because they were doing an angle with this guy named Ace Martino.
Okay.
And he was feuding with Mustafa Ali.
Okay. Wow.
So this is like forever ago for him. Like this is before he was even a cop, I think.
Wow.
Because this is like right when he first retired, I think. I can't remember exactly, but so this was they had somebody contacted me about coming down, like because my trainer Boz.
Okay.
Steve Boz was my trainer.
You trained at
CSW.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Small world,
it's
right?
very small world.
Yeah. So Boz was like a regular on those shows.
Yeah.
And I think he called me and he was like, "Hey, we got a spot. We need you for a brother." And
brother.
And so I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I can be there." Like, and it's like an hour and a half, almost 2 hour drive from Chicago. So I went down there, and like it literally was just like, "We need you to come out." Like he's gonna like the Ace Martino is the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna call out Ali, and you're gonna come out as Ali, like as an imposter Ali.
Okay.
Because they're like, because you look like him.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like,
Okay.
Okay, I'll take that as a compliment. You know, he's a handsome man.
Yeah.
So I go out there and do that, and like he comes out and like, you know, bumps him around, and I thought that was just gonna be it, and then they were just like, yeah, you're just gonna be in their faction now. And then I was just booked every show for the next 3 years.
And that was your in.
And that was my in. And everybody's just like, dude, how do you get into Dreamwave? And I'm like, I
just got to look like Ali.
Dude. And like after, yeah, literally. But then like after that, anytime anybody wanted to get booked on shows, and this, I'm so glad I didn't have to do this because this is the fucking worst.
Oh no.
They would do tryout matches before the show in front of the roster.
Oh my god! So it's a dark match in front of
the guy, like in front of all the boys.
That's
and
gonna be so nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I would.
Oh my god.
And like, I would say like I don't remember anybody being like overly like shitty or rude or anything.
Yeah.
And, like if anything, like I feel like we would always like try to get into it for them.
Yeah.
So like it's
good.
so it's not as nerve-wracking for them, but it's like, dude, like you're literally like wrestling in front of like all your peers and like. You're just like, you don't want to fuck up, and I'm like, thankfully I never had to do that. So,
do you ever get nervous when you're like wrestling during a show?
So funny that you say that is I feel like I never used to, like ever.
Okay.
Never did, never. But like lately now, I'm kind of just like. Not nervous, but it's kind of like I just don't want to like get a little jittery.
Okay.
I'm like I just don't want to like I think my thought process is like I just don't want to embarrass myself.
Okay.
Or like, you know, not that I ever think I'm going to hurt somebody or anything like that, but just like I'm just like, okay, hopefully everything goes well, like we're good, you know. I hope I don't look like shit like but then everything usually goes fine.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, it's just like me in the back of my head just like worrying for no reason.
You just get in your head, kind of like pre-show kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then, like it's just so funny. Like,
do you have any like pre-show like rituals? Do you warm-ups? Like, what do you do before a show?
I'll stretch. Like I have like a little bit of like a stretch routine that I do. Like I probably don't stretch as good as I should be. But honestly, like I'm super chill before my match. Like I try to like I'll call my match with whoever like and we'll like, okay, we'll do this, and like, all right, let's walk away.
Yeah.
I'll think about it for a little bit. We'll come back together, talk about it again, and just kind of do that a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But like I try not to be like too like in my own head or anything like that. So I'm still like walking around joking with people, like just like being normal, and then like but like in the back of my head I'm like, okay, then this is happening and this happens, like just calling the match in my head. But like I try not, I'm like, I don't listen to music or anything like that.
Okay.
Like, no, I'm not like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I literally, it's so funny because like it literally feels like, it's not literally this, but it's almost like, well, time to wrestle, get out of the chair,
So it's like, okay. I gotcha.
I'll warm up or like stretch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, but I try to like stay calm and relaxed like before I go out there. Cause then like, I don't know, like it's weird. Like, cause when I go out through the curtain, it's such a cliche that like, it's like you go through the curtain and then the flip switch or the
switch goes
flips.
on. Yeah.
And, but it is kind of like that. Like, I just kind of like, I'm able to kind of like just get that energy and like
and just go
and then I come back and I'm just like back down to my normal.
You've been doing it for how long? Like 10 plus years?
What year is this? 2024?
2020. Yeah.
14 years?
14 years. Yeah.
Jesus.
Wow.
That's a long time. But I mean, I definitely took like in the last couple of years, I've shortened up my wrestling schedule quite a bit, and I always look in like the Facebook memories now.
Mm-hmm.
It always pops up like I used to make like these graphics
where
it'd be like here's where you can see me, and it'd be like Chicago, North Dakota, Los Angeles, Georgia, gosh. North Dakota, Florida, like, and I was like, damn, dude, I used to fucking like travel and like and I actually like get booked places, and like I actually tried.
Do you miss it?
I really do now. Like I there was a time when I was like fully committed to just like
I'm just gonna wrestle all the time.
Yeah, and then after that I was like, I think I'm done wrestling.
Yeah.
And just like I was like fully committed to not wrestling anymore, and then kind of just was like going through some stuff, and then like you know, not until lately have I been just like I feel normal again. And not necessarily in the mindset of like, yo, I need to fucking grind. And like, because I'm 33. I'm turning 34 this year. I'm not like in that mindset of like, I need to get signed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I genuinely just want to like wrestle and have fun. And like, I legitimately like the thing I love more than wrestling is traveling. So like when I was able to wrestle and travel, that was like literally like
2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah,
Right.
I always talk about like Colt Cabana. Like I'm like if I like not saying like this is like a knock on him at all, but I'm like if that's the career that I would love to have is like the journeyman type where he's been all over the world, like done so many unique and like interesting things, wrestled in such unique venues and stuff, and like. You know, if that's all if that's like the pinnacle of what I do, like that would be incredible. Like that would be exactly what I would be happy with.
So what's like the most memorable place you've been to
for wrestling?
Yeah. What's been your favorite place, I guess?
Well, I got to wrestle in Mexico. That was really
that's
cool.
Gonna be sick.
You can see on the back of my door there is like
okay.
I stole that. Well, I didn't steal it. It was.
Are you on the poster?
I am. You can see me in the purple jacket. Oh yeah, you can.
I think I can see
I'll point it out later. It's like I'm in the top a little bit, but I took it specifically because they spelled my name wrong on the on the flyer.
I see it.
What is it? It's like
Matt Kenix.
It's like K-E-K-N.
What?
Yeah. But I laughed. I was like, awesome. How do you spell that wrong?
Oh man.
But
I mean, it's a nice piece to remember it by, though.
Yeah, and it was a good trip. Like. Really, this was the first time I'd ever been to Mexico, and kind of getting to experience like my home country, I guess, like my native.
That's gotta be awesome to be able to wrestle in your, I guess,
my native land.
Yeah,
or just like the land of my ancestors. Yeah, and it was cool, and they were like, it was like we flew into Mexico City and then took a bus like 3 hours like towards the coast. And they were all like coastal cities, like coastal towns, and they were literally like what you would see on like, like on just like on the internet or like you know in like documentaries and stuff, just like these like dirt road towns.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it was like culture shock for sure, and like the little arenas that we would go to, it'd be like, this is like insane, like how dirty and gross this is, but like, they would like. Set it up and it would look like really cool like once the show would start, and I'm like, damn, like this is awesome. And like we got to like the one thing I was like you've seen like for like lucha matches, like when like they have a really killer match, like people like will throw money in the ring.
Oh yeah.
So like the whole trip we were there, I was like, that's all I want to do. I was like, I just want to have a match good enough that they throw money in the ring.
Did they?
The last match that we had there, they did. We was like, we got to go fucking crazy. And like we did, like the one dude we wrestled, I actually still talk to him like occasionally now. His name's Cobre.
Okay.
And he was like a little guy, but he just like he would do some crazy shit. He did a like, because it was like the venue for that last show was like it looked like it was like an old church.
Okay.
But like where the windows would be like up, where the stained glass was all like busted out and stuff. So it was like almost like an indoor outdoor venue. Because it was like open and stuff.
Yeah.
And he climbed up into like one of those big balconies, like or where like the window sill was. It was super high.
Just jumped off it.
And he did a big old moonsault on us. And we were just like, holy shit. Like,
was he okay?
He was totally fine. And like he was a little guy too, so it wasn't too bad. But I was just like, we didn't talk about that. I just saw him climbing and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna catch this guy. I hope he lands in our hands. I hope he doesn't fly over us.
Have you ever had an experience where it didn't go right? Where you're supposed to catch someone?
Oh, it's happened to me.
Really?
A few times. I had it happen once on a dive where I did like and it probably was a little bit of more my fault just because I probably didn't get enough jump when I dove. But I hit the ropes and I went to go do like a flipping dive to the outside.
Okay.
And the guy that caught me kind of caught my ass and then just power bombed the back of my head on the ring apron.
Oh my god.
And then my head then bounced off the floor when I landed, and I was just like, ooh, and I just rolled underneath the ring, and I was like, I am dead.
Oh my god.
But I was like, okay, like after the
no
match,
concussion.
I for sure probably got a concussion. I was definitely dizzy after the match, but like, I kind of just was like, well, time to go home. Like after the show, I just drove home after the show, and like was not a good idea. Kids, if you're watching. You hit your head at a show, you get your head smashed, something like that.
Get it checked.
Go get checked. Don't do what I did.
Did you get checked or no?
No.
So you just went home and just went to sleep?
Yeah. I mean, I felt fine. Like that was the thing. I didn't feel like I was going to throw up, but I like realistically, I probably should have. Like,
isn't that the thing where it's like if you get a concussion, you're not supposed to go to sleep?
I think that's what we've always been told. My mom always would do shit like that because, because you could fall asleep and not wake up. And I'm like, that's what they would always tell me. And I'm like,
really?
I mean, if there's a way to go, that's the way.
To just get concussed and just
to die in your sleep.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, the least painful way.
But yeah, I had that happen before, and I've done there was a freelance show. So we used to do our original venue. We used to run out of the Abbey Pub.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was tight in there.
Yeah.
And for some reason we fucking put chairs up, and they had hard
it was like hardwood floor, right?
Hardwood floor, but the chairs are they weren't folding chairs. They were
just like wooden chairs.
No, like banquet hall chairs, just
okay.
these solid metal chairs, with padding on them a little bit.
Yeah.
And
what?
And I remember I did a moonsault to the outside and just completely overshot the guys. So when I think my chest and chin caught their upper hands and stuff as I went, and then my fucking knees and shins just went into the chairs. Oh. And I hit so hard, and immediately I felt my leg just start pulsating, and I was like, I just fucking broke my leg.
Oh,
I literally thought I broke my leg, and the only thing I could do was fucking no sell it, and I just stood up and I just screamed. I fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And I just stood there for a second, and it was kind of putting pressure on my leg, and I'm like, okay,
trying to test the water.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't hurt to put pressure on it, and I kind of jumped on it a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I don't think it's broken. I think I just hit it really fucking hard.
Jeez. Did you get that
No.
Did it stink?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, did you get that looked at? No.
No. Well, I probably could have guessed that you did.
Yeah, it definitely it just kind of I don't know, I just banged it off the chair, and it thankfully
when you hit something really hard and it just sends that
shock waves. Yeah, that's kind of what it probably was.
Oh man.
And
that
then
sounds rough.
The only other one I can think of was this was probably 2017 on a Black Label Pro show. Is kind of the similar thing. This is probably the last time I've done this actually. Because I used to do the acai moonsault to the outside all the time. And now I stopped doing it in places that have guardrails.
Oh god.
And that is because of this one. When I did the acai moonsault to the outside, and literally both of my shins just went off the top of the guardrail, and I was just like,
oh my god, that sounds so
dying.
painful.
Yeah, and
that sounds so painful.
I had kick pads on, and they
went right through it.
It definitely saved me from breaking both of my shins.
Yeah,
but it's still I still had bruises across my legs, and I was able to finish the match, everything fine. I was just kind of walking a little funny afterwards, but I've got knock on fake wood. Well, actually, wait.
I think you're.
That's probably wood. Knock on wood, though. I thankfully have not broken anything like that.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, but I was a big milk drinker growing up.
So maybe, there you go. That saved you.
Yeah.
That definitely saved you. Have you guys ever had videographers get into angles at freelance?
Not that I can think of.
I think that'd be so sick.
Have you get super kicked or whatever and be
something,
and then it could be something where Trevor's like, what the fuck, he starts freaking out over it, he just grabs you and gives you a pile driver.
Be so sick. I think, what show is it where Shane just threw Ambrose into the crowd? That was was it July or August?
Yeah,
literally the first thing he does is just picks him up and he just goes flying into the crowd.
Yeah,
You should definitely do that.
we could do that. I mean, it pretty much happened in the last show.
Really?
People were getting tossed everywhere.
Oh man.
Well, we had one on one of the shows
Uh-huh.
a couple months ago. Freaking Shane Mercer, military press Stone Ambrose out of the ring over the guardrail into the crowd. You remember that? Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
we need more of that in wrestling.
Yes. Because I remember I was standing ringside around on the apron, right? And I was like just waiting, and they did the whole face-to-face thing, and I was just waiting for what's the first thing that's gonna happen. And that's when he literally picks up Ambrose and throws him. And I'm like, oh God, I need to run over there right now and get this.
I was terrified, especially because when the group of them that were over there, they hit the lighting rig, and it was like,
yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it's about to break.
Shit. Like I was like, our insurance does not cover lighting rigs that crush fans.
Oh God. But yeah, I think that'd be sick. I definitely would want to get into. Before I did video, I was like, I want to do wrestling. I want to try it.
As I say, you look like you're in pretty good shape. You're probably more jacked than I am.
No, that's not true.
But
not true.
You're being too nice.
That's not true.
But yeah, so you thought maybe like at one point you were like, I might try.
I trained at CSW for like a month.
Really?
During COVID.
No shit.
Or I think it was after COVID. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Literally like a month, and then real life hit schedule, and I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So I did video.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely like it takes a lot, especially with training. Like when you first start, like you realistically, like we try to, like at least for us, like at freelance, we have practice like 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
So like, and we don't like require people to be there every single day, but it is more advantageous to you to get better like the more times you're there, and like when you're met with real life shit and you're like, damn, I can't really like dedicate that kind of time, like it sucks,
especially when you got you're older, you got bills, you gotta work. Gotta pay those bills. So.
This sounds like a blues song. It's like,
right.
I gotta pay my bills. Don't have time to wrestle. That's all I got.
Watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, gonna watch me some Dragon Ball Z on a cracked website.
I wonder if that website is still up, because I would love to go watch GT again.
There definitely was. I forget. I used to have it bookmarked on my old computer. I had a website that I used to stream Dragon Ball on, because this was like before. So before we had like streaming services and stuff. So like,
you can probably stream it on like Netflix now.
What? It's on Hulu. Dragon Ball.
Is it?
Dragon Ball Z is on Hulu. I guess maybe depending on the type of plan you have.
Yeah.
It's definitely on. I have the Funimation app, which I think is like combined with Crunchyroll now.
Yeah.
They definitely have that shit.
I totally forgot. Yeah, I guess I don't have to go look for that correct website.
You can just do the. That was like the other day. I was like, I'm bored. I'm just gonna put something on, and I put on like the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie that
How was that? I didn't get to see it.
So sick. Like,
really?
Definitely go out of your way to watch that one.
Okay.
Like, it's really good.
Because that one came out in theaters, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And the animation is insane. Like
really?
they especially for the fighting scenes, because it's like so cleanly drawn, and they did like the most recent one was like Dragon Ball Super Heroes or whatever. Like that. It was also really good. But this one was like the new one they did is like a little bit of like 3D digital, like 3D animation. It looks a little weird at first because you're so used to just like drawn art, like, and now they're like kind of
like
3D.
Like animated, like more animated.
Yeah,
I guess.
But it was good. It like both of them. Definitely recommend checking them out.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that Broly movie, so I guess I'll have to.
That honestly might be the move for you. Like, since you haven't seen any of Super, watch Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods.
Okay.
Resurrection F.
Okay.
Because those two movies are the first two arcs of Dragon Ball Super.
Oh,
they just they just redo it's the exact same story. Like in the show, it's like a little different, like some details, but like the exact same story for both of those things. And and then beyond that, then that's when they do the tournament arc. So like
Gotcha.
if you watch those 2 movies and then start at the tournament arc,
That'll be fine.
that'll be you'll be perfect there.
Okay.
And then the Broly movie is canon, but like it's not like you can just watch that like whenever.
Separate. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't think I'd be watching Dragon Ball again in
Bro.
2024.
They just I love how we just came back to it.
I know, for real.
They're starting a new series now too.
Isn't it? Because after Toriyama died, I saw that he has like an apprentice that. Because I think he's the one that did Super too. He's the one that drew it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what the name of the new show is, but it looks like they're like kid versions of themselves or something. Like
okay.
I'm not really sure. I don't know exactly what the story is.
So it's kind of like Dragon Ball, but everybody is a kid instead of just Goku.
Yeah, I think they like something's probably gonna happen where they like all get wished as kids or something, which is kind of what happens with GT.
Yeah.
I mean that's exactly what happens, but so maybe it's like kind of like they're taking parts of GT and retelling it. I don't know.
I would like to see what Vegeta is like as a kid.
Little asshole.
I literally would be the biggest asshole.
It's just Cartman.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know who kind of looks like Cartman though? Krillin. I feel like Krillin would look like Cartman.
Hey, Master Roshi.
Wait. So then, if Master Roshi's a kid, then would
He's
he
just like
be
a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm gonna watch it no matter what. Like I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it or not, but I'll definitely watch it.
Worth a watch.
Yeah.
Worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, especially if it's Dragon Ball stuff. Like I usually will give any of it like a chance.
Yeah.
And if it's not good, then I just won't watch it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I definitely have to check that out then.
But what else do you have going on? Like for you, like do you have anything coming up that you want to like?
Sorry, I'm thinking about Dragon Ball again.
Dude, we could just keep talking about Dragon Ball.
Sorry, what do I have?
I was like, do you have anything coming up or anything like any cool shit you want to plug or?
I mean, I'm just whoever wants to hire me. Whoever wants to hire me, take me on. I'm just looking to film for whoever, whenever. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how much. How long are we recording?
I don't know. What are we at?
I don't know if it's like.
Has it been recording?
Oh, we actually didn't record at all. No, that's actually perfect. But yeah, no. I mean, so nothing else that you want to plug? I mean, like, where can people find you on social medias and stuff like that?
I am Sleepwalker. Sleepwalker spelled SLPWLKR. Funny story. Sleepwalker was actually supposed to be a DJ group.
Really?
That I was like, so Sleepwalker. I've been using that name for like 5 years now. It started off as me and my friend Norv. We were gonna make a DJ group. We were like super into EDM at like one point in our lives.
I think everybody was.
Right? It's like once you phase out of like Warped Tour, you kind of hit EDM for a little bit. So we were obsessed with trying to make EDM music. And then it became a video production company. And now it's just me.
That's pretty interesting. It's funny that you say that, though, because, like, after Warped Tour era for me, it was like I was with a buddy of mine. We wanted to start, like, a band like Broken Side.
Oh, my God, dude.
And, like, but, like, mostly because I was like, I'm like, that's not necessarily like my bag, but I was like, I kind of fuck with it, and I think it would be fun to do.
I totally forgot about Broken Side until you brought them up.
Dude, them and I set my friends on fire. That was like such an era for me.
I think they're still a band.
I think they are too. I think Jacob said I think he might know them or know
really
something. Maybe
I set my friends on fire.
I might have just made that up.
Well, we'll have to ask him.
I'll ask him. Don't fact check that. That's his truth.
Dude, that's so crazy. I totally forgot about that band. But yeah,
that'll be a fun. We'll do that as a segment next time.
Yes.
We'll just be like, bro, do you remember this band?
Oh, dude, that you should do that. That would be a really name all these Warped Tour bands. I see your Set Your Goals poster, and I was like, I haven't listened to Set Your Goals in such a long time.
Dude, they're still in my like regular rotation.
Are they?
Legit, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I can't get enough. I was telling one of my coworkers, we were talking about like vinyl collecting, and I got back into, well, not that I'm a vinyl collector, but like I started when I was a little younger.
Okay.
And then I stopped because I didn't have money.
Yeah.
And then as I
They're
got
expensive.
Yeah. But then now as I've gotten older, like now I have adult money.
Yeah.
And
right.
like but then now records are like cool again. And so like you can find stuff like a lot easier and it's not as expensive. Like you
Yeah.
can get like shit that you want for like not a crazy price.
Because before they were like limited presses.
Yeah.
And when and done, that's it.
But I have they did a anniversary release. It might have been the 10-year for the Mutiny album.
Okay, yeah.
And I bought every single variant of the
Oh,
pressing. So I have like
dude.
5 copies of Mutiny now. With
Oh
like
my-
different insides, I guess.
Yeah. The one song I remember I was obsessed with was that song that they had with Haley Williams.
Oh yeah.
I
And she's
forgot
like
the name of it.
where she's just like, "Yo, dude, can I get on this?"
Yeah, dude, that song was so sick.
And then she's like, "All right, listen,
Let's go.
girl."
Yes.
And then
Oh,
it comes in.
so good.
It's like super hard.
Yeah. I love that song. I totally forgot the name of it, but I think it's like Wasted. And it's not
Yeah.
Wasted. Or
Saddle up with the kiss on up, time for you to you
Is
the
it-
man up right now.
Oh, dude, that's-
Yeah.
I need to
can't
find that
remember
later.
now.
I need to find that later. But yeah, I was obsessed with that song.
Hell yeah.
I thought it was sick.
I'm gonna close this podcast with that song.
Yes, you should. With the all right, let's go.
All right. right into it.
Hell yeah. Or you should start off with that.
Start the podcast with
Yeah.
that, and then be like,
Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, right into all right, dude. Dude,
Yeah.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you
I'm
for having
glad.
me. So fun.
I'm glad I found my memory card for my camera because
Yeah.
literally, like, okay, real quick before we jump out of here. So I'm such an unprepared, unprofessional piece of shit that like I come in here and I'm like, no, sorry, I have all this shit in the way. I didn't
It's
set up
fine.
anything, and then I'm like, where are my memory cards like for anything? And I accidentally put the memory card for the audio recorder in the camera. And then I'm glad I pulled it out because it's only like 32 gigs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this thing we would have been fucked.
But you know, if you didn't find it, I wouldn't have seen that golden Shenron.
That's true. That's how
This,
it happened.
and that's how this whole podcast started.
Dragon
With
Ball Z.
Thank you, though. It was
All
so
right.
fun.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody rock the dragon.
Yes.